Hi, welcome to my channel, Learning with Boys. Today I want to share a week's worth of dinner as well as 5 nights. And I think one of those is leftovers. But here's the deal. I cleaned out my freezer and I was trying to do dinners for the week without buying dinners at the grocery store. Now I did go to the store and I did get some lunches, but even then I actually found some gluten-free bread in my freezer that I went ahead and pulled out, so that was helpful. Found, I think, some lunch meat that I had bought at the discount store. Different things like that. When you clean out your freezer, you're like, wow, I have more food than I thought I did. And I was able to stretch some of that out throughout the week. So every once in a while, it's nice to do that. Check and see what you have, and maybe you could save for that week, especially with groceries being so costly right now. It's very helpful. We do have a grocery discount store, so sometimes we'll find some good deals and the dates probably expire in the next day or two, so I will stick them in the freezer when I get home. So that is what I did for these dinners this week. So they are nothing exotic, nothing to brag about, probably something you may have at your house, but I'm doing the video just to encourage you to maybe clean out your freezer, see what you have in your cabinets. Could you come up with 1, 2, maybe a week's worth of meals that you could stretch and sort of cut that grocery bill that week, either save the money, use it for something else that you have coming up. I hope this encourages you. We are a gluten-free family. My second son has celiac, diagnosed 10 years ago, and over the years, we all have gone gluten-free. I want to say except my oldest, but when he is home, yes, it's all gluten-free here. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what we did. The first meal is actually just some leftovers that I put in the freezer and then just pulled them out, combined them all in the pan and made something else. So, and it turned out fine. So let me know if this is helpful to you, if this encourages you, if you're a gluten-free family and maybe you got a new idea, I don't know. I feel like sometimes when you're gluten-free, you eat a lot of the same things over and over, or maybe just when you've been cooking for kids for a long time and you know what they like, so you cook the same things for them. Maybe that's what it is. But share below. Maybe you have a favorite recipe that's gluten-free that I have not thought of. That might be easy. If you like this type of content, please hit that likes button, encourage me, and subscribe. I do also do homeschool content, videos, and I enjoy these cooking videos. I am working on them. I'm not the best, but working on these videos, and I'm hoping that they would encourage other families, other gluten-free families with children. So, okay, all right. I should have filmed this a little bit earlier. Really just threw it all in the pan. It was actually, there was some rice, some meat, frozen meat. It's a little bit of chicken and a little bit of beef, sort of like from fajita meat, and it's not really seasoned too much, so I don't think it'll matter. Some cream of chicken soup that was also in the freezer. So all this was in the freezer, and I also had a little bit of chicken broth from some chicken I cooked last week in the fridge. Actually, this is right here, some of the fat from it that'll all melt up in a little bit, but it'll give it more flavor, so that is good. So this is the first meal that I am pulling out of my freezer of leftovers, just trying to make some meals out of what I already have. Okay, here is some of that meat. I just set some of it out, set it aside to add some mayonnaise and put it on some sandwiches for my guys' lunches. Okay, using what I have, which is a lot of rice, we are going to make enough rice for a couple of meals this week. I am going to make 4 cups of rice, which would need 8 cups of liquid. I had chicken broth in the freezer. I took that out, so I will use 2 cups of that and then 6 cups of water. And then I will also turn the Instant Pot on for 28 minutes before I open it. Okay, the rice is done. I was out reading to one of mine on the deck, and it finished. It has been staying warm for 12 minutes. So now I'm going to release it. It sounds like it's probably gonna be a little bit loud. When I make boiled eggs, it's nothing really comes out, but let me turn this off. Make sure you turn it off. Oops. And make sure you jump back real fast. And then it will take a while. When you don't hear any more noise, this thing is very noisy, but it is a wonderful, you can do a lot with an Instant Pot, so I'm very thankful for it. I've had it for a couple years. Okay, opening it up. and the rice is definitely done. Checking it with a spoon, and the texture is really good. So the rice is ready. Okay, next I have 3 pounds of meat and going to make 2 separate dinners. Okay, I have salted and onion powder, garlic powder, and I have 1 pound in this pan and 2 in this. I'm probably going to make like a chili rice for the boys, and I'm going to use this meat and make it a little bit low carb, and just trying to use what I have, and I will show you how all that turns out for dinner tonight. Okay, here's the one for my husband and I'm trying to add some butter there. Really just need to add a fat to it, and then I'm going to be adding this bag of cauliflower and this bag of broccoli and some cream cheese and probably a little bit of half and half. So I'll show you that when I get it all melted. I'm going to drop the cauliflower in there now because that's going to be pretty hard. Let that simmer for a little bit, and I will show you. Right here I got the meat all cooked up and getting ready to sort of make a chili out of it and then add the rice. Okay, here is the meat for the boys. Like I said, I'm just making like a chili. A couple of cans of tomato sauce. I did put water in and put some water in there too. Cumin and chili powder, and usually it's twice as much of this. So if you use 2 teaspoons of that, a teaspoon of this, and I don't even know where I got that from. And I remember I put the onion and garlic already in the meat when I cooked it. And my boys are not picky. I mean, if you were making it for someone else, I would try to make it really, really tasty, but they're not picky. They'll like it. If you wanted to stretch it even further, like I'm going to put the rice in here, and it should last a couple nights. So I will have leftovers with this one. And tomorrow's Wednesday night, which will work out great because we have church and we have to get to some activities before church. So this will already be done. So that will be helpful to me. And if you can, what I was going to say, if you want to stretch it even more, you could take a can of beans or 2. My boys don't like beans, but I have put them in a blender and made it work that way, and they don't usually notice. So you can stretch that a tad bit further. And also here is the meat with the cauliflower, the riced cauliflower in it. Just waiting for that to sort of break up a little bit. It takes a little bit. It is frozen, so I just wait for it. So I could probably put a lid over that and it would help. All right, and I will show you it when it's all done, both dinners. I just wanted to let you know this is the cream cheese. Poured the broccoli in, getting all that warmed up. It's coming together. Okay. I've added the rice. Now, when I cook the rice in the Instant Pot, I put 4 cups of rice and 8 cups of water. But always keep in mind that you're going to get a lot more rice than what you put in there. So this is 2 pounds of meat, and I actually have already put 4 cups of the rice in here, and I also have this much left, which is actually, I thought I would just have 4 more cups, but it's a little bit overflowing, but I probably don't have it pressed down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably put this in the fridge. It should last the week. You know, if I have not used it up by Friday, I will put it in the freezer. And then it is nice to already have this cooked up if I decide to add it to another meal, in a meal or on the side. And you can make other things with rice. We don't really do that, but so I wanted to share that with you about rice. Okay, this has cooked up nicely for my husband and I. This is just the 1 pound of meat, but it still will last us a couple days. And also, yeah, I had some extra time. The boys are outside, and he really likes the fried eggs on top of it. It is actually sort of rich and filling anyways, but this will be a special treat, and it is his favorite. Okay, this is the rice and meat, like chili meat, and just showing you, you could add green beans, and I may do that tomorrow evening, so. Okay, this is Wednesday night after church. This is the last bit of meat and rice. My other people have been eating it either for lunch or dinner, and my oldest gets home late, so he's eating this after church. To mention, the rest of us are eating some popcorn after church. I got this popcorn from Azure Standard, and it's really good. Okay, it is Thursday evening. I am actually just going to make some macaroni and cheese and hamburgers. I have a ladies' meeting tonight, so I'm just trying to get it done a little bit early so the boys can just eat when they're ready. I have made macaroni and cheese on here before, but I am using what I have, which is some cheese I had in the freezer, and this was just some stuff that was still in the fridge that I've been just probably cutting off of. I'm going to shred this up and make my own cheese sauce. And oh, I use these gluten-free noodles from Aldi's, so I'm going to get that done and probably get the hamburgers in the oven here in a little bit. I just wanted to show you this. I've made the cheese sauce. I poured it in there and stirring that into the cooked macaroni. Okay, here's the dinner plate. I did add green beans. We have canned green beans on hand in the pantry, and all this is just stuff we already had. With our ground beef being gluten-free, we don't have the gluten-free buns or any type of bread. That's why I try to add a starch, whether rice, macaroni, sometimes potatoes, not very often though. So let me know if you are gluten-free. Do you need to have a hamburger bun, or do you just eat it like we do? Okay, these are some things that I'm going to add in the crock pot, and some things I already had: peppers, a little bit of onion, some garlic from the freezer, and some radishes. So I'm going to throw this together and show you what I do with the meat. Okay, this is some meat that I have. It's sirloin steak. It is from a cow that we purchased, a long time ago, but it was in the freezer. It's still good. It's probably been within a year. So, gonna get that cooked up. There was more in those packages than I thought, so that was good. I'm just taking the time to cut that up. Okay, I went ahead and cut the meat up, and I am going to show you this pan in a minute, but I got the onion and garlic in the pan with oil. It's more ended up like a stew meat. I thought maybe it'd be strips, but that's okay. Here is the pan that I have. I'm going to actually just brown the meat a little bit. Make sure my garlic is not burning. Go ahead and get this meat in here. It might be a little bit loud, to forewarn you. Just to brown it up. I'm going to actually put all this in the Instant Pot, and I'll show you the steps that I take there for this and what I'm going to put in there with it. So, okay, I ended up just cutting up carrots instead of the peppers because it was more of a stew meat. So I'm going to try to cook it in the Instant Pot that way. And I used this, I think, in my last video, and I've not used it a lot. Sort of experimenting with it. So I think I put water in there so far, and I actually have it on warm, and I'm going to put some of this in there, and then I'm going to add the meat that I just cooked up with the veggies, and I'm hoping this will just sort of thicken it, and then just to add some extra salt and add some onion powder and just a little bit of garlic powder. So okay, let me get that together, and I've got my veggies and my beef. I'm going to throw it all in there. Okay, I got it all in there. I'm going to put the lid on, make sure the sealant is closed, and okay, I put it in there for 22 minutes, and I'll let you know how it looks for dinner. Okay, here is a plate of tonight's dinner. I wanted to do, this is served on rice. I was hoping to make some fried rice. I haven't done that before, and with all that rice I had going on earlier in the week, I thought, oh, I should do that at the end of the week. But things got busy today, so
this is what we have, and it is delicious. And the radishes, I just left everything the skin on, but they sort of, this is how they look. But they do have a similar texture to potatoes and a little bit more low carb. So, all right, I just wanted to share that plate of dinner with you. And it'll probably serve everybody at least one helping, so it won't be really any leftovers.
All right, there was my week's worth of food. I hope it was helpful to you. I appreciate you watching this, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much.